Guys, hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So this particular video is about one of the most important exam for the chemistry students. So this is about the UPSC combined geoscientist exam. Okay, now this is one of the exam which is one of the most highly rated exams after your masters. So in case if you are not willing to go after your MSc, if you are not willing to go into the research, and if you are willing to go for certain job, certain government job section after your master, so this is one of the option which you can opt for, and this is one of the best options which you can go for, right? So the applications for your combined geoscientist exam pre-exam has been already begun. The examination like applications have been started from 7th of October already, and the last date is up to 27th of October. Now there are things which you should know, that what are the eligibility criteria, like how the exam will be conducted, what is the syllabus and all. So all these things I'm going to explain you in this particular video, so watch this video very carefully, and if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask that in the comment sections below. But before asking that, do watch this video because most of the things will be covered up over here, right? So I'll be talking about only the chemistry portion. There are certain more vacancies apart from chemistry, but since we deal with the chemistry students on this particular channel, so my most my focus will be on the chemistry part itself. Okay, so yeah, this is the notification. And one more thing before going further, that all the links, okay, all the links like how to apply that particular link and from where you can download this particular complete notification, everything will be there in the description of this particular video too. So do check out after watching this video, right? So this is the notice which has been posted by UPSC on their website. Now from where you can apply, first of all, so you can apply from this particular website. The website name is upsconline.nic.in. so this is the website where you can apply. Now while applying for the form, what you need, so you need a valid ID proof like your Aadhaar card, voter ID card, passport, or your PAN card or driving license, or any of the photo ID card. Okay, so that you should have in order to fill this form, so that will be used as your photo identity. So basically all the necessary details should be like necessary documents should be there along with you while filling the online application form. Okay, fine. There is one more facility of withdrawal of application that I will be talking about at the later part of this particular video. All right. The last date of submission of the application form is on 27th of October 2020 till 1800 hours. That means up till 6 p.m. So this is the last date for filling this particular form. All right. Now only an online application withdrawal form and other things are from the 4th of November. I'll be talking about that a little later. Fine. So basically that this particular exam will be conducted in three stages. Okay, there are three stages: stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. The first stage is called as your preliminary geoscientist exam or pre-exam. Okay, in this stage you will be given with, yeah, like you have to go for a objective type exam. Okay, so the exam will be objective type in the preliminary, and that is going to be for which you are filling the form. Okay, so you can see here, this is for the preliminary exam, and that's what the form you are actually filling for. So this is going to be objective type, and there will be two papers in this. Okay, I'll be talking about that, what those papers will cover. After this, okay, after qualifying this preliminary exam, once you qualify this, a merit will be made, and based upon that you will be allowed to give the main exam. Okay, so geoscientist main exam you can apply then. So on applying for the main exam, the main requirement is that you should qualify the preliminary exam, and the marks of the preliminary exam will be also secured, and it will be counted at the later part when you will qualify completely. So in order to make the final merit, your preliminary marks will also be counted over there. So preliminary exam is not just a qualifying exam, it's also there for making the final merit of yours, right? So the main exam will be descriptive type. Okay, that is going to be a descriptive type exam, and that will have three papers in it. All right, so that will have three papers in that. So once you secure or once you qualify the main exams, then you will be called for the third stage, that is your personality test or your interview. So the three stages are as such: the first stage is pre-exam, objective type; second stage is main exam, descriptive type, containing three papers, and yeah, pre-exams contains two papers, main exam contains three papers, and then your interview, right? So the exam for your, like, tentative date for your pre-exam is your 21st of February. Okay, so 21st of February 2021 is your tentative date for your pre-exam. All right, so that's for the preliminary exam, whereas for the main exam the tentative date is 17th and 18th of July 2021. Okay, so that is for the main exam. Main exam will be held on the following centers. The centers for the main exam is also mentioned over here, but this you have to fill, or this you have to do after qualifying the pre-exam. All right, so then there are different category or different posts which have been provided by UPSC for this particular, like for which you will be eligible after qualifying this exam. So there are two categories. The first category is post in the Geological Survey of India, Ministry of Mines, and this post is for chemist group A. Okay, that's the first category which you have. So for chemistry student, this is the post which you can apply for. There are 15 vacancies in this particular post. There is category 2 also, which comes under the post in the Central Groundwater Board, Ministry of Water Resources, and here there are 3 different posts like hydrology scientist B, chemical scientist B, and geophysics scientist B. So for chemistry student, you are also eligible for the scientist B, chemical scientist B. Okay, so there are 3 vacancies over there. So basically a chemistry, MSc chemistry student is eligible for both of them. Yeah, so based upon your final merit and based upon your subject preference, you will be given with these posts. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, every year there are certain fixed vacancies for PWBD candidates. This year that has not been there. Okay, so there is no vacancy for PWBD candidate which is reported separately. Okay, so they have to fight among other students as well. Okay, so a candidate will be eligible to give benefit of community reservation. Yeah, that's one thing, that whether a reservation will be given or not. So that will be given to those students whose name is there in the central government list of the reserved communities. Okay, so if you belong to a certain reservation, if you carry out a certain reservation, so your name should be there in the central university list of that. Okay, so yeah, that's what it is, that you should have a document which should be telling, like a particular document which should specify that you have a particular reservation under SC, ST, OBC, EWS, or whatever these requirements are. Okay, so just read about all these things in this particular notification before filling the form. Okay, one more thing, that EWS candidates applying for combined geoscientist exam must produce an income and SS certificate for financial year 2019-2020. Okay, so for this year you should have a income certificate. So EWS candidates should also have this certificate. All right, what are the eligibility criteria? So nationality should be Indian, or you can also apply if you are a subject of Nepal or from Bhutan, or if you are Tibetan refugee, or if you belong, if you are an Indian origin person and you belong to some other country, so you are eligible then. Age limit is very important to know. So the age limit for the chemist group A and for scientist B, for both of them, okay, the eligibility is same. It's that your age should be from 21 years to 32 years. Okay, so your age should be in between of 21 to 32 years. That means your date of birth should be not before than not before than 2nd January, not earlier than 2nd January in 1989, and not later than 1st January 2000. Okay, so date should be in between of these two dates, like from 2nd January 1989 to 1st January 2020. Your date of birth should be in between of both these dates. Okay, for others also the date and the eligibilities are same. Now there are other upper age limits which are given to you, like there are certain relaxation in the age which are given to you. So if you are a government servant and if you belong to these like if you are already working under this department, then you get a 7 year of relaxation. Rest of the relaxations based upon the different category wise is mentioned over here, and I have highlighted them with this yellow, green and purple color, so you can just check it out. So these are the different relaxations. Okay, so you just read about them, that how much relaxation you are getting. So a candidate belonging to scheduled caste is getting 5 years of relaxation. OBC candidate is getting a 3 years of relaxation, and so on. Okay, so you can just check it out, that whether you belong to this relaxation or not, and based upon that you can increase the tenure of your of the age, right? Okay, so there are other details regarding the relaxations which are given to you. There are various different methods in which the person get relaxation, whether he is an ex-serviceman, whether he belongs to defense personnel. So it's like that. Okay, so you have to read all these things. Okay, let's talk about the minimum educational qualification. So for chemist group A, okay, you need to be masters in chemistry or applied chemistry or analytical chemistry. That means basically you should be MSc in chemistry with any of your specialization, okay. So that's what it is, and you should be passed or you should have applied it. So yeah, one thing which is very important, that many students might be thinking that whether you are in masters final year, are you eligible for this or not. So make sure that when you are going for the mains exam, that is on the 17th of July, right? So that is the date of your mains exam. So before that you should have your MSc degree with you, okay. So MSc mark sheet at least with you. So that means if you are in the final year of masters and if you will qualify your masters before July 2021, so then you can apply for this form. So if you are in the final year of masters, obviously you will be able to qualify that within June 2021, right? So in that case you will be eligible for this. So this particular eligibility is for both, for chemist group A and for scientist group B chemical, okay. So for both of them, as I told you, for 15 vacancy and for 3 vacancy, for both of them you are going to have the same eligibility criteria based upon um, the educational qualification. Next thing is about fees. So candidate accepting female SC/ST personnel and the person with benchmark disability, PWBD, that's what we call them, so are exempted from the payment of fee. So female, all the girls out there, all the female candidates, they don't have to pay any money for the application form. All the SC/ST students have not to pay any money for the application form. Even student belonging to PWBD category, they don't have to give any fee for that. Rest of the students have to pay rupees 200 as the application charge, as the application fees. As I told you that the application will be like the last date of application is up to 6 p.m. of 27th October. So make sure you pay and make sure you fill this form before 6 p.m. of 27th October, right? You can pay this money online also via your Visa, Master, RuPay or any of the debit or credit card. So you can either pay online or you can either pay by cash mode, that is what they call it as, by the through the help of challan. So a print will be made by while filling the form, and that print you have to take to the nearest SBI branch and you have to pay the money over there. So that is also one of the way how you can apply for this, okay. One very important thing is that fee once paid shall not be refunded in any circumstances. So there is no chances that if you have paid the fees you want that money back. That will not happen, okay. So once you have made the payment, it will not get refunded. So make sure whenever you are filling the form, all the details, all the information which you are filling are filled in very detail and very correctly. For the application in whose case payment have not been received by the bank, so they will be treated as the fictitious payment cases and their application will be rejected in the first instance. So make sure your payment is complete. If your payment will not be complete, it will be rejected. Just read it out, this particular para, it's very important, okay. Now how to apply, I already told you that this is the website from which you can apply, upsconline.nic.in, and only single application is allowed to fill. So you can only fill one of the application, okay. You don't have to fill that form again and again. So just make sure you are filling just once. Rest of the details are there over here. Now what are the documents which you need after qualifying the pre-exam during like when you will be applying for the main examination, that is for the main geoscientist examination. For that time, what are the documents which you need? So you need certificate of your age, certificate of qualification, educational qualification, then like your caste certificate, then the certificate for the fee concession if you have applied for, then the certificate in support of like if you are belonging to a PWBD category, okay. So any of these which are applicable, you have to apply those particular certificates when you are applying or when you are going for the mains exam. All right, rest of the details are there in very, like each and everything is explained over here very like in a very detailed manner. Last date I already told you many times, we have discussed, it's 27th October. So make sure you fill this form before that time. Make sure that you fill this form as early as possible. Don't wait for the last date, because at the end if you will be filling it, there will be like there are a lot of problems which happens. You have already seen that in the gate form, right? At the last time payment problem was there, then the site was not working. So a lot of things happens at the end moment. So don't wait for the end moment, just fill the form. If you are interested, fill the form as early as possible. Okay, withdrawal of the application, as I told you that there is a facility which is provided by the UPSC for you, So if you are not interested and if you want to withdraw your application, you can do so, okay. In future, let's say after applying, you want, like after applying this, you thought that okay, I should not have applied, I have to take that. So there is certain date which is fixed, that is from 4th of November to 11th of November. So those are the dates which have been mentioned. So you can like withdraw your application within that particular date. Later on, the application will not be allowed to be withdrawn. Okay, so let's talk about the plan of examination. As I told you, there will be 3 stages. Stage 1 combines of your preliminary exam or geoscientist pre-exam. This is going to be a CBT mode, computer based objective type question paper will be there, and this will contain 400 marks, okay. It will carry 400 marks in stage 1. Then stage 2 is going to be the exam which will be dependent upon what subject you want, okay. Conventional type paper will be there, and this will be of 600 marks. And then the last one will be your interview, and that is going to be of 200 marks. So overall your exam is of 1200 marks, okay. Overall the maximum marks for this complete exam is 1200 marks. You have to qualify in each and every stage in order to reach for the further stage. All right, so talking about um, the application which we were discussing, like that is for the chemist, okay, the chemist and scientist B chemical. For them there will be 2 papers. Paper 1 will be of, so this is for the pre-exam, okay. This particular thing is for the preliminary exam. So for pre-exam, out of those total 400 marks which we told, that will be given according to 2 papers, okay. So these are going to be the 2 exams which will held in the pre stage. So stage 1 will carry these 2 exams, okay. First will be paper 1, that will be your general studies, and this will carry 100 marks, and second one will be your chemistry exam, which will be of 300 marks. So both of these exams will be of 2 hours each, and this will specify that whether you have qualified for the mains exam or not. So this is the pre-exam. In the pre-exam you will be fighting for 400 marks. You will be getting 100 marks questions from the general studies, 300 marks from the chemistry paper, and these exams are going to be 2 hours each, okay. Total will be 400 marks. I guess that's much clear to you. Now negative marking will be there for wrong answers. Remember that 1/3 of the marks will be deducted as penalty. So whatever the marks question will be, 1/3 will be deducted as the penalty for that. Now candidates are not permitted to use calculator in the pre-exam. Make sure this thing very importantly, that the use of calculator is not allowed in the pre-exams. You don't have any access to the calculators over here. Now those candidates who are declared by the commission to have qualified in the preliminary stage 1 exam, that means if you have qualified in this stage 1 exam, in the year will be eligible for the admission in the mains, that is stage 2 of the exam. So once you qualify the pre-exam, you will be allowed to give the mains part, okay. Now minimum qualification marks in the general studies paper and the geoscientist stream specific paper should be over there. So you should qualify, or you should pass out this minimum qualifying marks. Now this minimum qualifying marks varies every year, so it's not fixed, so it varies every year, okay. So a name list will be given, or the roll number list will be given, those students who have qualified for the preliminary exam, and they can apply for the mains now. Now the mains exam will be held for the chemistry in the 3 papers, okay. As I told you, there were 3 papers in the mains. So each paper will carry 200 marks, okay. So 200 marks for the chemistry paper 1, chemistry paper 2, and chemistry paper 3, and all of them will be of 3 hours each. See, all right. So every paper over here will be of 3 hours each. So total will be of 600 marks, and that's how this part B, or you can say stage 2, will be qualified. Now if a candidate failed to appear, this point is very important, that if you fail to appear in any of these 3 exams, okay, let's say you have qualified pre-exam, you went for the main exams, and among these mains exam there are 3 different papers. Out of these 3 papers you missed out any one of them, then in that case you will be rejected, okay. Your form will be rejected. So you have to appear for each and every exam in order to be eligible, and you have to qualify also all those exams in order to be eligible for the next stage, or in order to be eligible for the evaluation. Now non-programmable calculators are allowed in the mains exam. So in the mains exam you are allowed with the calculators. So in pre-exams no calculator is allowed. In mains you can take a non-programmable pocket calculator along with you. Rest of the details are over here. You can read out this whole notice, and all the details are over here, okay. The syllabus is the one which we should discuss. So the stage 1, that is for preliminary, the syllabus of your general studies part is over here. I have highlighted it right now. You can read from your screen. It's current events, then history of India, then India and the world geography, Indian polity, economics, then demographics and general sciences. So all these things will be asked. Okay, the questions will be in such a way that that will be from a science graduate, like a level of a science graduate questions will be asked over here in this general studies part. Then as I told you that the second paper belongs to the chemistry. So for the pre-exam, okay, for the pre-exam, that is for the stage 1 exam for objective type, the syllabus goes like this. You have chemical periodicity, everything is given in detail over here, chemical bonding and structure, acid and base, theoretical basis of quantitative inorganic analysis where volumetric analysis and other things comes, kinetic theory of gaseous state, chemical thermodynamics, chemical equilibrium, solution and non-electrolytes, electrochemistry, basic organic chemistry, stereochemistry and types of organic reactions, and your molecular rearrangement. So these are the syllabus for your pre-chemistry exam. Okay, so that's what it is. Now talking about the mains exam. So for the mains exam, the syllabus is quite vast. Okay, so in the mains exam, the things will be asked in more detail. So if I talk about the chemistry students, so yeah, so for the post of chemist and scientist B chemical, for the stage 2, that is descriptive type exam, you have 3 papers. First one is inorganic chemistry. In inorganic chemistry, you have inorganic solid, coordination compound, acid base titration, gravimetric analysis, redox titration, complexometric titration, organometallic compounds, nuclear chemistry, and D and F block elements. All right. Then the paper 2 will be your physical chemistry, where kinetic theory of gases will be there, solids will be there, chemical thermodynamics, chemical kinetics, electrochemistry, quantum chemistry, basic principle and application of spectroscopy, Raman effect, and photochemistry. So you can see the syllabus is quite similar to what you have seen in the CSIR net syllabus, right? So it's the standard master's level syllabus which you can see over here. The next thing is your analytical and organic chemistry, which will be your paper 3rd for the mains exam. So there you will be having errors and qualitative analysis, separation methods are there, then you have thermal methods of analysis, then X-ray method of analysis, inductivity coupled plasma spectroscopy, geological methods. Then your organic, from the organic chemistry you have unstable and uncharged intermediates, then you have addition reaction, reaction of the carbonyl group, oxidation and reduction, electrocyclic reactions, spectroscopic method of analysis, and so on. Okay, so these are the syllabus which you have to cover for the mains exam. Rest of the details are again repeated over here. So for filling the online exam, we have already discussed about it. So all these things have been done. Okay, so items which are allowed and not, so I already told you that in the pre-exam calculators are not allowed, in the mains exam your calculator is allowed. All right, so I'll be giving you all these links. Yeah, one more thing, that in your pre-exams you will be given with rough worksheets so that you can do all your rough work during the CBT mode. All right, so that is over here, you can read out everything. Now yeah, non-programmable calculators will be allowed for the stage 2 exam. So these are all the important things which were there, which you should know before filling the exam. I will be attaching the link for this particular notice in the description of this video. Do check this out, download this notification, read this out before filling the exam, and then you can go safely with filling this form for the part 1 and part 2. So if you will if you are interested in it, you can ask me in the comment sections. I'll be telling you step by step guide that how to fill this particular form, right? So that's all for this particular video, guys. I hope this will be helpful to you. So I will encourage you to fill this particular form because after masters there are very few exams which are there for the job basis, or for which are apart from the research based. There are very few forms which comes for the chemistry student. This is one of them. So don't lose out this opportunity, fill this form completely, and all the best to all of you. So that's all from my side, guys. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.